The night my husband announced our divorce, every executive in his company stood up and called me Madam Chairman. I laughed because I thought they were mocking me. Then the boardroom doors opened. My husband, Adrian Vale, walked in with another woman holding his arm. "She is my future wife," he said. The woman smiled at me. "And you are officially fired from Vale Holdings." I looked at Adrian. "Fired?" He slid a divorce agreement across the table. "You have nothing left." I picked up the pen. "Fine," I signed. His smile appeared instantly. Then I pushed the papers back to him. "Congratulations, Mr. Vale." He frowned. "What?" I pointed at the last page. "You just divorced the woman who owns 51% of your company." Nobody breathed. Adrian's smile disappeared, because there was one thing he didn't know. I had never been the poor nobody he married. I had only been pretending. 3 years earlier I met Adrian Vale in the rain. At least, that was what he told everyone. The truth was much less romantic. I was standing outside a convenience store at 2 in the morning, wearing a cheap black coat, holding a broken umbrella, and eating instant noodles straight from the cup. A black Maybach stopped beside me, the rear window lowered. A man looked out, tall, sharp jaw, perfect suit. The kind of man who probably had people opening doors before he even reached them. "Get in," I stared at him. "No," he frowned. "I wasn't asking. That makes it worse." The driver looked like he wanted to disappear. The man sighed. "You're freezing." "I've survived worse." "You're bleeding." I looked down. A small cut ran across my palm. I shrugged. "Still alive." He studied me for several seconds, then he said something that changed my life. "Marry me." I almost choked on my noodles. "What? Contract marriage? Are you insane?" "Probably." At least he was honest. His name was Adrian Vale, 31, CEO of Vale Holdings, the youngest billionaire in the city, and, according to every business magazine, the most emotionally unavailable man alive. He needed a wife. I needed money. He offered me $5 million. I told him no. He offered 10. I still said no. 20. No. 50. I looked at him. "Do you normally buy people?" "Yes. At least you're consistent." He smiled for the first time. 75 million. I stared. "You really hate being single." "You have no idea." I laughed. "Fine." He held out his hand. "Deal." I shook it. "Deal." Neither of us knew that handshake would eventually bring down an empire. Our contract was simple. 1 year. Publicly married. Privately separate. No love. No jealousy. No interference in business. No children. At the end of 12 months, we would divorce quietly. I thought it would be easy. It wasn't, because Adrian was impossible. He woke at 5, worked until midnight. Drank black coffee, hated flowers, hated parties, hated small talk, hated almost everyone, especially me. At least, that's what he claimed. The first month passed without trouble. The second month, he started coming home earlier. The third month, he began leaving breakfast outside my door. The fourth month, he stopped calling it the contract. The fifth month, he got jealous. The sixth month, I fell in love. The seventh month, he kissed me. The eighth month, he told me he loved me. The ninth month, I discovered he had lied about everything. The 10th month, I disappeared. And the 11th month, I came back to destroy him. But that came later. On the morning after our wedding, I woke up in a penthouse worth more than my entire neighborhood. Adrian was standing beside the window. "You snore." I opened one eye. "I don't." "You do." "You were awake, yes, then suffer quietly." He looked almost amused. "Breakfast is downstairs." "Why?" "Because you're my wife." I sat up. "Contract wife." His expression changed. "Right." I smiled. "Don't forget." He looked at me for a long second. Then he left. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. 3 weeks later he came home with a broken knuckle. I was sitting on the sofa. "What happened?" "Nothing. Your hand is bleeding." "It's fine." I stood. "Sit." He looked at me. I said, "I'm fine." And I said, "Sit." He actually sat. I cleaned the wound. He watched me silently. "You punched someone." "Yes." "Why?" He insulted you. I stopped. What did he say? Doesn't matter. It obviously mattered. Adrian looked away. I don't like people talking about my wife. Something warm moved through my chest. I ignored it. Next time, use words. I don't like words. I noticed. He smiled. That was the first time I realized I was in trouble. The next morning the tabloids published photographs of us. Adrian Vale's mystery wife, secret wedding, shocks, business, world. Who is the woman who stole the CEO's heart? I laughed when I read the last headline. Stole your heart. Newspaper, ridiculous. You agree? Yes. Good. He looked at me. Very ridiculous. I didn't notice his hand tightening around the newspaper. I didn't notice the man standing across the street from our building. I didn't notice the black car following me that afternoon. I didn't notice because I was too busy believing our marriage was fake. Then my mother's bookstore was attacked. The windows were smashed, shelves overturned, books thrown everywhere. My mother stood in the middle of the store, shaking. I ran toward her. Mom, she grabbed me. Don't, Jihi, worry about me. What happened? I don't know. A man from the police department approached. No robbery. What? Nothing was stolen. I looked around. He was right. Cash was untouched, computers were untouched. Nothing valuable was missing. Someone had only destroyed the store. I noticed something on the wall. A black symbol, a circle cut through by 3 lines. My mother saw it. Her face went white. You know that? She didn't answer. Mom, she grabbed my wrist. We're leaving. Why? Now, we barely made it outside before a car screeched around the corner. See, appeared from nowhere. He grabbed me. Down. The car sped past. A bottle flew from the passenger window and shattered against the bookstore. My mother screamed. Adrian looked at the broken glass, then at me. Did they hurt you? No. Are you sure? Yes. His jaw tightened. Who are they? My mother stepped forward. I know. Adrian turned. She stared at him. You're a Vale. Yes. You shouldn't have married my daughter. His eyes narrowed. What does that mean? My mother looked at me, then she whispered, because they will come for her. Adrian looked confused. Who? My mother didn't answer. That night, Adrian hired security. 10 guards, I complained. He doubled them. I complained again. He bought the building. I stared at him. You bought my mother's bookstore? Yes, you can't just buy everything. I can. That isn't the point. Then tell me the point. The point is you don't get to control my life. He stepped closer. I am trying to keep you alive. Why? He stopped. For the first time, he looked genuinely frightened. I don't know. That answer scared me more than anything. 3 days later, Adrian received a letter, no return address. Inside was a photograph, me, standing outside the bookstore when I was 6. On the back were 4 words. Eshe was never yours. Adrian showed it to me. I stared at the photograph. I don't remember this. I know. How did they get it? I don't know. Then another photograph fell from the envelope. Adrian, as a child. Standing beside a woman I didn't recognize. The same black symbol was painted on the wall behind him. I looked at Adrian. What is this? He took the photograph. His expression changed. My father. That's your father. Yes. Who is the woman? My father's first wife. I stared. You never mentioned her. She died before I was born. I looked at the photograph. Again. She didn't look dead. She looked terrified. Then I noticed the date. The photograph had been taken 2 years after her supposed death. Adrian saw it too. Neither of us spoke. That night, he searched his father's old files. I helped. At 3 in the morning we found a hidden folder. Inside were dozens of photographs. My mother, my father, Adrian's father, the bookstore, our childhood homes, and one document. A corporate trust agreement. I read the first line. The marriage of the Vale heir and the designated Reed heir. I stopped. Adrian. He came over. What? Read this. He did. His face went blank. What does designated read heir mean? I don't know. I looked at him. Who is Reed? He looked at me. You. My stomach dropped. No. Yes, my last name is Reed. Exactly, that could be coincidence. He turned the page. My full legal name was printed there. My birth date, my mother's name, my father's name. And beneath it, denated he I heir, Lillian Reed. I stared. My mother? Adrian shook his head. No, he pointed to the next page. Lillian Reed was Pratt. Crossed out a VARED, was written underneath. I couldn't breathe. You knew? No. You swear? Yes. Then why does your family have my name? I don't know. We spent the rest of the night searching. By morning, we had discovered 3 things. First, my father had worked for Vale Holdings. Second, he had disappeared 27 years earlier. Third, he had been accused of stealing something worth billions. But the fourth thing was the worst. The stolen asset was listed as the Black Trust. I laughed nervously. What is the Black Trust? Adrian didn't answer. Adrian. I don't know. You're the CEO. I told you, I don't know. Then his phone rang. He answered. His expression changed. What? I watched him. Who? Silence. Then, no, he hung up. What happened? My father is alive. I stared. Your father died 10 years ago, I know. Then how is he calling you? Adrian looked at me. He wants to meet you. Me? Yes, why? He didn't answer. Adrian, he said you're his daughter. Everything inside me stopped. I laughed. No, he said your father was never your father. No, he said your mother stole you. No, I backed away. This is insane. I know. Your father is alive. Yes. He says I'm his daughter. Yes. My mother stole me. Yes. And you're standing there like this is normal. No. He walked toward me. I am just as confused as you are. I stared at him, then I asked the question I had been afraid to ask. If I'm his daughter. Adrian's face went pale. Then what are you? To me, neither of us answered. Because we both knew the answer could destroy everything. Before we could investigate, Adrian's father appeared on television. Every channel showed the same image. A gray-haired man sitting in a private office. Victor Vale, officially dead. He looked directly into the camera. My son has been manipulated. Adrian stared at the screen. Victor continued. And the woman he married is not who she thinks she is. I felt sick, then he smiled. The Black Trust belongs to the woman who controls Adrian Vale. The broadcast ended within an hour. The company's stock collapsed. By noon, the board called an emergency meeting. By 3, investors were demanding Adrian resign. By 5, someone had leaked my private records, my childhood, my school, my mother's bookstore, everything. The internet called me a fraud, a gold digger, a secret heiress, a spy. A woman who had trapped a billionaire. Adrian stood in front of the cameras. My wife has done nothing wrong, a reporter shouted. Then why does the trust document name her? Adrian said nothing. Another reporter shouted. Did you marry her for the Black Trust? His jaw tightened. Then he said, I married Ava because I wanted her. The crowd exploded. I stared at the television. He had never said that to me, not once. The next morning, I asked him, did you mean it? Yes. Then why didn't you tell me? Because I was afraid. Of what? Losing you. I looked at him. You're losing me anyway. He stepped closer. I know. That was the first time I saw Adrian Vale cry. Only one tear. He wiped it away quickly. But I saw it. Then someone knocked. His assistant entered. Mr. Vale, the board has voted. Adrian turned. What did they decide? They want you removed as CEO. Silence. Effective immediately. Adrian nodded. Anything else? The assistant looked at me. They want Mrs. Vale to attend. I frowned. Why? Because she has voting rights. Adrian stared at me. What? The assistant handed me a document. Mrs. Vale owns preferred shares equivalent to 51% of the voting stock. I laughed. That can't be right. The assistant swallowed. It is. Adrian looked at me. Ava. I stared at the document. The signature wasn't mine. It belonged to my father, and the date was 27 years old. My knees nearly gave out. Adrian caught me. Easy. I pushed him away. Don't, Ava, everything you told me was a lie. No, you knew I owned shares. I didn't. You knew my family had a connection to yours. I didn't. You knew about the contract. I didn't. Then, what do you know? He looked at me. I know someone has been using us. Who? I don't know. I laughed bitterly. You're the CEO. Not anymore. The boardroom was packed. Executives, lawyers, shareholders, reporters, and sitting at the head of the table was a woman I had never seen before. She smiled at me. Mrs. Vale, who are you? Evelyn Cross. Adrian's face hardened. Why are you here? She smiled. The new CEO. Everyone turned toward her. I looked at Adrian. What? She slid a document across the table. The board has voted. Adrian picked it up, then laughed. You forged this. No. She pointed at me. She authorized it. I looked down. My signature was on the last page. But I had never signed it. This isn't mine. Evelyn smiled. Of course it is. Adrian stood. Security. Nobody moved. He looked around. Security. The head of security stepped forward. I'm sorry, Mr. Vale. Sorry. You're no longer authorized to give orders. That's. Evelyn smiled. Welcome to your first day without power. Adrian looked at me. Don't sign anything. I won't. Evelyn laughed. You already did. She pressed a button. The screen behind her displayed my name, AVA Reed VLE Authorized Controller. Then the screen changed. A second name appeared. Lucas Reed. I stared. Who is Lucas? Nobody answered. Evelyn looked amused. You really don't know. I shook my head. She leaned forward. Your brother. My heart stopped. I don't have a brother. You do. Adrian looked at her. Where is he? She smiled. Dead. I stared. What? Your brother died 22 years ago. Then why is his name here? Because he wasn't dead. Evelyn's smile disappeared. He was erased. That was when the lights went out. Someone screamed. A gunshot echoed. When the lights returned, Evelyn was gone. Adrian was bleeding. I ran toward him. Adrian. He pressed his hand against his side. I'm fine. You've been shot. It's not deep. Stop saying you're fine. He looked at me. Then don't leave me. I froze. I'm not leaving, he smiled. Good. Then he collapsed. The hospital said he would survive. But, while he was unconscious, someone accessed his phone. A message appeared on the screen. Why you have 72 hours to find Lucas. I stared at it. Then another message appeared. Or your husband dies. Next time, I looked through Adrian's files. Nothing. Bank accounts. Nothing. Family. Jackards. Nothing. Then I remembered the Black Trust. I searched its registration number. The result made no sense. The trust wasn't registered under Vale Holdings. It was registered under a private foundation, the Reed Foundation. My family. I called my mother. She didn't. I called again. Still nothing. I drove to the bookstore. The front door was open. Every light was off. My mother was gone. On the counter was another photograph. My mother, a man, a baby, and Adrian's father. I turned the photograph over. 27 years ago. A handwritten sentence. WECOULEHAV ended it then. A floorboard creaked behind me. I turned. A man stood in the doorway. Young, dark hair, sharp eyes. He looked exactly like the photographs of my father. Who are you? He smiled. Lucas. I froze. You're alive. Yes, my brother. He laughed. No, what? I am. Your father. I couldn't breathe. My father is dead. He wanted you to believe that. Why? Because your husband is not Adrian Vale. I stared. What? He stepped closer. The man in that hospital bed isn't Adrian. I shook my head. That's impossible. Then ask him about the scar behind his left. I remembered it. Adrian had one, a thin white scar. Lucas smiled. The real Adrian Vale died 12 years ago. I backed away. No, the man you married. He looked at me. His name is Noah. My world went silent. Then who is Noah? Lucas's smile disappeared. The only man who knows what your family did. I didn't understand. What did my family do? He opened an old leather case. Inside were photographs, my mother. My father, Adrian's father, a baby. And a laboratory. I stared. What is this? Lucas said. Your marriage wasn't arranged to save Vale Holdings. Then why? To finish. Gee, an experiment that began before you were born. What experiment? He looked at me. Memory transfer, I laughed. No. Yes, that's impossible. Not anymore. He pulled out a file. The photograph on the first page was Adrian. The second was another man. They looked identical. The third was the man lying in the hospital. I stared. 3 men? Lucas nodded. 3. Which one is my husband? He looked at me. That depends on which memories he has. I felt sick. So the man I married may not even know who he really is. I ran back to the hospital. Adrian was awake. He looked at me, stopped at the door. He smiled. You came back. I stared at him. What's your name? He frowned. What? Your real name? Silence. His eyes changed, not fear, recognition. Then he whispered, Noah. I couldn't breathe. He closed his eyes. I was hoping you wouldn't find out. Who are you? I don't know. Tanimore, you lied to me. Yes. Did you ever love me? He opened his eyes. Yes. Was that real? Every second. Then tell me the truth. He sat up slowly. I was sent to marry you. My heart broke. By whom? The Vale family. Why? To get access to your shares. Did you know I owned them? No. Did you know who I was? No. Then why did they choose you? He looked at me. Because I looked like Adrian. I stared. You're his clone? No. Then what? A replacement. For how long? 12 years. My stomach turned. What happened to the real Adrian? Noah looked away. I killed him. I stepped backward. You killed, your own brother. He was going to kill you. Why? Because he knew what you were? What am I? Noah stared at me. The last shareholder. That doesn't explain anything. He reached under the pillow, pulled out a key. Go to the old Vale mansion. Why? Your father hid the truth there. Which father? Noah smiled sadly. That's the question. The mansion had been abandoned for years. I arrived at midnight. The key opened the basement. Inside was a wall covered with photographs. My childhood. Noah's childhood. Adrian's childhood. My mother's childhood. Every event had been recorded. Every relationship. Every marriage. Every betrayal. Someone had been watching us for decades. At the center of the wall was one photograph. Me and Noah, as children, holding hands. I stared. We met before. Noah looked at the photograph. Yes, when you were 5. Why? Don't I remember? Because they erased it. I touched the photograph. Then another memory flashed. A white room, a woman crying, a needle, a little boy screaming. Noah grabbed my shoulders. Ava, I couldn't breathe. I remember. What? You. He froze. You told me something. What? You said we'd escape. Noah's face changed. You remember? Yes. What else? I looked at the wall. The woman? Which woman? The one who erased our memories. I pointed at the photograph. It was Evelyn Cross, the woman who had taken control of Vale Holdings. Noah stared. She was there. Yes, then she knows everything. A phone rang. Noah answered. Nobody spoke. Then a woman's voice whispered, You should have stayed asleep. The line went dead. The mansion doors slammed shut. Fire erupted downstairs. Noah grabbed me. Run. We raced through the corridor. Smoke filled the hallway. A tall window shattered. We jumped through it. We landed outside. Behind us the mansion burned. Noah stared at the flames. She destroyed the evidence. I looked at him. Not all of it. I held up the old photograph. There was writing on the back, a location, a date, and one name. Adrian's grandmother. But Elena had died 20 years ago. At least, that's what everyone believed. We drove to the cemetery. Her grave was empty. No body, no coffin, just a hollow stone chamber beneath the tomb. Inside was a metal box. The box contained one letter. Dear Ava, if you, after reading this, then Noah failed. I stared. Noah looked pale. The letter continued. He was never supposed to love you, neither was Adrian, neither was anyone, because love was the one variable we could never control. I looked at Noah. The letter wasn't finished. Your mother knows the truth. Your father knows the truth, and the man you call your husband knows more than he admits. Do not trust him. I frowned. Noah was standing beside me. Who wrote this? He looked at the signature. Elena? Then I noticed the date. The letter had been written 3 days ago. My grandmother was alive. And she had been watching us. A second page fell from the envelope. The final sentence was written in red ink. If you want your husband back, come alone. I stared at Noah. I have to go. No, I need answers. So do I. You can't come. Why? Because she asked for me. Noah looked at me, then smiled. No. What? She asked for you. He pointed at the letter. She called you Ava. I looked down. At the bottom of the page was a second name. Noah was never the target. You were. I looked up. A black car waited outside the cemetery. The door opened. An elderly woman stepped out. Adrian Vale, alive. She smiled. Ava, I froze. You're my grandmother. Yes. Why did you fake your death? To protect you. From who? She looked at Noah. From him. Noah stepped forward. You're lying. Elena laughed, still protecting her. You don't know anything about us. I know everything. She looked at me. I know who you are. Then tell me. She took a breath. You are not a reed. I stared. You are not a Vale. She smiled. You are the daughter of the man who founded the Black Trust. Who? She pointed toward Noah. Him. I turned. Noah looked horrified. What? Elena smiled. Your father wasn't Lucas. She looked at me. Your father was Noah's father. I couldn't speak. Then she delivered the sentence that destroyed the last piece of certainty I had. Your marriage was never between two heirs. She paused. It was between the heir and the person designed to destroy her. I looked at Noah. His face had gone completely blank. Elena stepped closer. And now that the experiment has succeeded, the council will come for both of you. Why? Because you fell in love. I laughed. That is the conspiracy. No. Elena's smile disappeared. That is the disaster. She looked toward the road. Black cars were approaching. Dozens. She whispered. They have finally found you. Noah grabbed my hand. Run. We ran, not because we knew where to go, not because we knew who to trust, but because for the first time, I understood the real danger. The people chasing us didn't want my money. They didn't want Vale Holdings. They didn't even want the Black Trust. They wanted control of a secret that had been buried for decades. And somehow, my marriage had unlocked it. By sunrise, the city would know my name. By noon, Vale Holdings would collapse. By nightfall, the council would declare us enemies. But none of that was the real war, because we still hadn't discovered the worst part. The Black Trust had never contained money. It contained ownership of something much bigger, something that could decide who controlled the entire financial system. And the only person who could unlock it was me. The woman everyone had spent her whole life pretending was nobody. The black cars were already blocking both ends of the road. Noah pulled me behind a stone wall. Don't move. I hate when you say that. Then for once, don't argue. He peeked over the wall. 6 cars. Men in dark suits. No police. No flashing lights. No sirens. That somehow made it worse. Elena stood in the middle of the road. She wasn't running. She wasn't afraid. She simply watched them approach. A man stepped out of the first car. Silver hair, expensive coat, calm, smile. Mother. Elena's expression hardened. Damien. I looked at Noah. Who is Damien? He whispered. My uncle. I stared. Your uncle, the one who supposedly died before I was born. I slowly closed my eyes. Of course. Noah almost laughed. What? I'm starting to think your family has a serious problem with staying dead. The silver-haired man looked toward our hiding place. You can come out, Ava. My blood ran cold. Noah grabbed my wrist. How does he know? Elena answered for him. He always knows. Damien smiled. You've made this much harder than it needed to be. Elena stepped forward. You were never supposed to touch her. Touch her? Damien laughed. You still don't understand. His eyes moved toward me. She was born for this. I stepped out. Noah. He caught my arm. I shook him off. I want answers. Damien smiled. That is exactly why you are dangerous. I walked closer. What is the Black Trust? His smile faded. You don't know. No. Then your memory restoration has progressed much slower than expected. Noah stepped beside me. What did you do to her? Damien looked at him. You shouldn't exist. Noah's jaw tightened. I hear that a lot. You were a failed copy. Copy of who? Damien smiled. You already know. Noah went silent. I looked between them. Stop talking in riddles. Damien sighed. Very well. He pulled a tablet from his coat. A photograph appeared. A young man. It was Noah. But younger, much younger. He was standing in a laboratory beside another boy. The other boy looked exactly like him. I stared. There are two of them. Damien nodded. The original and the replacement. Which one is Noah? He looked at me. The one who remembers loving you. My heart skipped. I turned toward Noah. What does that mean? He didn't answer. Damien continued. The real Adrian Vale was never the only subject. Subject? Your families called it succession. He smiled. We called it continuity. I felt sick. Continuity of what? Power. He tapped the screen. The Black Trust was created by 4 families, Vale, Reed, Cross, and Mercer. I recognized 3 names. Mercer. Damien looked amused. You'll meet them soon. I didn't like the way he said it. Why was I chosen? Because your bloodline carries the final authorization. What authorization? The trust controls voting rights across 47 financial institutions. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to. He stepped closer. The person holding the Black Trust doesn't own those institutions. Directly, the trust controls their voting proxies. I stared. So whoever controls me controls them. I finally understood. The Black Trust isn't money. No, it is power. Yes, and I'm the key. Damien smiled. Exactly. Noah stepped in front of me. You're not taking her. Damien looked almost disappointed. You still think this is about taking her? What is it about? She has already been activated. I looked at my hands. What does activated mean? Damien tapped the tablet. 3 years ago when she married you. I looked at Noah. His face changed. That's impossible. Damien nodded. That's why your contract was so important. My stomach dropped. What contract? Damien smiled. The marriage contract. I remembered the first page, the strange legal language, the clauses I hadn't understood, the signatures, my signature, Noah's, and the witness I'd never met. Wait, I looked at Noah. You said the contract was drafted by your lawyers. It was. Who? He hesitated. Vale's legal department. Damien laughed. No, he pointed at me. It was drafted by her father. Silence. My hands began to shake. My father was supposed to be dead. He was. Then, how did he write it? Damien's smile became colder. Because the contract was written 27 years ago. Noah stared at him. No, Damien nodded. The marriage was planned before either of you knew what marriage meant. I felt dizzy. The rain, the convenience store, the Maybach. His offer, $75 million. Everything suddenly felt different. I turned toward Noah. Did you really choose me that night? He looked at me. I thought I did. That's not an answer. No, he swallowed. I was sent there. My heart sank. By whom? He didn't speak. I already knew. Damien? Noah nodded. I stepped back. You approached me because of the trust. At first. His eyes filled with guilt. Then I met you. I laughed bitterly. So the love story was just another part of the experiment. No. How do I know? You don't. That answer hurt because it was honest. Damien watched us like he was enjoying a show. This is why emotional attachment was considered a flaw. Elena suddenly grabbed my hand. Enough. Damien looked at her. You've always been sentimental, and you've always been a coward. His smile disappeared. Elena turned to me. Listen, carefully. What? The trust can only be opened by 3 things. She raised one finger. Your biometric signature. Another, Noah's genetic code. Then the third, the original Vale heir's final memory. I stared. The original Adrian. Yes, but he's dead. Elena looked at Noah. Is he? Noah's face went white. What are you saying? I am saying you were never given his final memory. Damien stepped forward. Mother. Elena ignored him. Because it was hidden. Where? She looked at me. Inside you. My breath caught. No. Yes. How? You witnessed his death. I wasn't there. You were. My started pounding a flash. White walls. A child crying. A man in a hospital bed. Blood. A woman screaming. Then a boy looking at me. Don't forget me. I grabbed my head. Noah caught me. Ava, I remember. What? The hospital. Damien looked alarmed for the first time. Elena whispered. She has it. The men around us raised their weapons. Noah pulled me down. Gunfire erupted. Stone shattered above our heads. Elena shoved something into my hand.